So here we are, finally 2 years from when Zune was first introduced to the United States, and this will probably be my last and final review of the Zune, at least the Zune 30, because it's getting old. I've had this thing since about November 24th, 2006, so I've had it for almost 2 years now, and I never actually expected, you might remember me saying in my prior video on the Zune where me and my friend kind of argued about, because he had an iPod and I have a Zune. He still has his iPod, but he's planning on getting something better eventually. I'm not sure what that will be, but I'm sure by the time he gets something new, I will get something new as well. But if you remember me talking about the Zune and mentioning to my friend about how my SanDisk, my Sansa, and they upgraded their firmware, and the Zune would probably do the same, I didn't actually expect how much they were actually going to do. Like, I assumed there'd be enough features they'd introduce to it that would, satisfy, but they've so far done a lot more than what was expected. Especially one main thing is games. I mean, other than rumors and talk, I didn't actually assume that they'd, get it done. They also added a bunch of new features to the latest upgrade to, I think, 2.5 or whatever it's at. One of the main things here that makes me happy is there's a passcode on the Zune. It's kind of hard to see, but you enter a code to basically unlock, just like the iPod. It's a feature that probably should have been introduced with the Zune, but they made a mistake and corrected it. Unlike other companies where, let's say they do something and they introduce it with the next version or next generation of it, rather than allow all the older generations to have the same features that the new gens do. See, the newer gens of Zunes that the software was made for, they still allow the older versions, like the Zune 30, that's totally discontinued now. I don't think there's anything. They're not even being sold. I mean, they've already discontinued the Zune 80 to make room for the Zune 120. Yeah. Another feature is they finally added a clock. There's a clock that you have the choice of turning it on or off. That, I don't know why they didn't do that in the beginning. Literally, that was a really stupid idea not to have a clock. Another thing that's changed since the last time I reviewed this was there's no more 3-day 3-play rule. It's just a 3-play rule. So when you transfer music from person to person, you still get to fucking listen to it for pretty much 3 times, but for as long as you want. You don't have that restriction of having to quickly listen to it within the span of 3 days and having it expire on you. That was the way I thought it should have been from the beginning, because, I mean, they can't allow it so you could just send songs freely with any limitations, because the RIAA would pretty much be up on their ass, because the RIAA are kind of douchebags. A thing that's changed about the Zune Social is you can now have a friends thing. It's hard to see because the screen's just so damn bright. I'm going to see if I can turn on the brightness on here. You now have an option of fucking a friends folder. It's hard to see. I don't know how some of the... The Zune Social's changed. It's got a friends icon, so you can, the friends that have Zunes, you can add them to your friends folder, and it'll tell you they're most played every time you plug it into your computer and stuff. And it's kind of got like a Last.fm styled upload feature when you plug it in and use the Zune software and stuff. So, it's kind of nifty, especially if your friends have Zunes. And what I've noticed now is pretty much mostly all my friends have Zunes, and it was kind of weird to find out that they've all been going that route. I know my friend Ben just got an 8 gig one, and my friend Andrews had a 30 gig pretty much since the summer of '07, and let me me think. Joe's got one. He's had a Zune 30 probably almost as long as I've had mine. But he's going to get something new because there's something wrong with his little sound plug here. I think like the solder joint's messed up. He must have busted it somehow. But yeah, they all have one, and I think that's kind of cool. It's getting decently popular. Sure, it's no iPod killer that people seem to make it out to be, but it is a definite other choice on the market for anyone who doesn't want an iPod or wants something a little different, doesn't want to, just automatically go to the monopoly that's out there right now. Another feature is you can also buy music directly through the Zune network from your Zune. Now, I don't use the Zune network to begin with, but it is probably a neat feature that you can do if you want to, because they added that wireless sync stuff. And that's kind of cool. So if you want to use that, you can. I prefer not to, because it is quicker if you just use your cable, since wireless is always going to be slower no matter what. There's also a feature if the radio has RBDS text display. If you're listening to a song on the radio and you hear something, you can actually bookmark that song and then download it from the Zune network later, so you don't forget it or whatever. Now, a feature that I wish the Zune had. I honestly don't care about wireless internet or anything like that. Like the whole big obsession with the Apple or the iPod Touch is how it's got wireless internet capabilities. Now that's nice and all, but personally, you do really need that. For one, you have to find a wireless connection that'll let you on, and number two, unless you pay for the wireless connection that's through like a satellite or whatever, but that's kind of a waste of money. Personally, the feature that I think would be the best to have is if you're at home and you have a wireless connection and you want to listen to internet radio, but you don't want to sit at your computer, have the option of bookmarking internet radio stations into here and playing internet radio through your Zune. Because honestly, I listen to internet radio more than I listen to regular radio. So that right there would be a really smart idea. Stations that I listen to are like either 1.fm's Energy X station, 1.fm's Trance station. I listen to Pandora all the time. I mean, even occasionally Last FM, but usually I stick with Pandora because I tend to think that's a better website for discovering new music. Let's think. Yeah, the games. There's games now, and they're official. They're no longer in beta. So that's up and running. The one thing I don't like about the update is they added they got rid of the original. You know how normal rating scales go, 1 through 5 stars or something out of 10 or in percentages. Microsoft thought they were being creative in creating a stupid love it or hate it kind of scale. I don't know if there's a significance behind this, like if somehow it categorizes itself into when you're playing shuffle, which songs tend to come up more, but I think it's stupid. However, I did notice the shuffle is a lot better. And the nifty thing about the shuffle now, one of the huge features I love, is they got rid of the quick list. Now, it's not technically completely gone, because you can still create playlists and kind of create a temporary quick list. But what they did is, if you're playing shuffle and if you decide, damn, I want to keep shuffling, but I also want to hear something at this moment or after this song, well, you can do that. You can listen to something, or you can find something in your music and basically add it to now playing. So that after that one song's done, or if you click next, that song that you added to now playing will then play. And then after that song's over, the shuffle will begin again. Now that's cool. Now that doesn't actually disable the quick list, because what you can do is you can just clear the now playing and just add what you want to it, and then use it like a quick list. The only downside of that is it doesn't save forever until you clear it. It'll just change every time you either start up a shuffle or play something else. So it kind of goes away, but you can still, create a quick list and do this now playing stuff. That's nifty.
My battery just died in my camcorder, but basically I just want to end this with, this will be the last review I'll do on the Zune 30, and the next thing I buy will know when I buy it. And I might even do another review with my friend like that, because I assume he's going to buy another Apple product when he gets something new, because he plans on getting something new shortly, because just as I plan on getting something new, since my battery life on my Zune's dwindling, being old and all, we're probably going to end up both getting something new at about the same time. So we'll see what happens when it happens. Peace, everybody.